Hashtag the silent reckoning. The silence at the dinner table was heavier than the roast chicken between us. Jacob kept his eyes on his phone. Ella twirled her fork like she was bored of my existence. And my wife, no, their mother, sat at the head of the table, pretending not to notice. They had just told me, in their rehearsed teenage defiance, that my opinions didn't matter, that their college plans were none of my business. Their mother agreed, of course, said it was their future. So I smiled and kept my wallet to myself. It hadn't always been like this. When I first met Claire, she was the woman who laughed with her whole face. I just lost my brother back then, and she filled a silence I didn't know was consuming me. Her kids were polite, quiet, a little wary of me. I didn't push. I showed up for every game, every recital, every scraped knee that wasn't mine to fix, but I did anyway. For years, I built something steady, an illusion of family. I was the man who paid for braces, for therapy, for vacations. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. And maybe that was my mistake, wanting too much to belong. The first crack appeared the day Jacob turned 16. He wanted a car. I said we could split it, half from him, half from me. He didn't like that answer. Neither did Claire. It's his first car, she'd said. Don't make it about money. But money was all it ever became about, especially when it came from me. Then came the college tours. Suddenly, I was an outsider. They'd whisper in the kitchen about applications and majors, the three of them in their own world. When I walked in, conversation stopped. And when I asked Ella politely if she'd thought about cost or scholarships, she said it, keep your opinions to yourself. Her mother didn't scold her. She just sighed and said, maybe she's right, honey. They'll handle it. That was the moment. Not loud, not explosive, just quiet. Final. I nodded. Of course. I'll keep them to myself. And I did. I started by reviewing my accounts, joint, separate, trust, tuition, everything they took for granted. The car insurance I paid, the college fund I'd built under my name. Even the health coverage, mine. One by one, I rerouted, withdrew, restructured. No arguments, no warnings, just paperwork and silence. I even left the tuition fund untouched but moved it under an executor, me. They'd still get the money eventually, just not before they learned its worth. Then came the final move, subtle, quiet, surgical. Claire had a habit of using my email for family matters. She'd booked the college counseling sessions through my account. So when the counselor called, she reached me first. Mr. Brooks, we need confirmation for payment before your wife and the kids meet tomorrow. I smiled into the phone. Ah, you'll want to call Mrs. Brooks first, I said. She and the kids made it clear my input isn't needed. Or my payment. The silence on the other end was perfect. The fallout arrived 2 days later. Claire stormed into my office, voice sharp enough to cut glass. Why didn't you pay for the counselor? Didn't think my opinion mattered, I said. Didn't want to interfere. Her face went pale, then red. You're being childish. No, I said calmly. I'm being respectful. You told me to keep my opinions to myself. My wallet just follows my opinions. Jacob called me selfish. Ella said I was ruining her future. And Claire, she looked at me like I'd betrayed them. Funny how betrayal feels different depending on who holds the knife. 3 weeks later, the counselor sent her an email, CC'd to me by mistake. Unfortunately, the payment window expired. We'll have to reschedule after full settlement. I didn't reply. Neither did she. Instead, Claire tried small talk at dinner again. How was work? She asked softly, like nothing had cracked. I looked at her for a long second. Productive, I said. And it was, because by then the house title was under my sole ownership. The joint account was split. My attorney had already drafted a postnuptial that required her contribution to household expenses. All fair, all legal, all quiet. She didn't see it coming because she never thought silence could be a weapon. The confrontation came last night. She asked if I was happy, if this was revenge. I told her it wasn't revenge. It was alignment. For years, I said, I gave because I believed we were a family. You made it clear we're not. I'm just adjusting accordingly. Her eyes filled, but no tears fell. Guilt doesn't always cry. Sometimes it just stares. Jacob muttered that he'd never forgive me. I didn't respond. Forgiveness is for those who think they're owed something. Now, as I sit at this same table, the plates empty, the silence even heavier, I've realized something. I didn't need to raise my voice to be heard. Didn't need to argue, plead, or prove a thing. I just needed to keep what was mine. And the counselor? She called their mother first, exactly as planned.